Hey, hey, how we doing? Look at your neighbor and say, grateful morning. Say it with your chest, grateful morning. So I have my little mister, as I call it, because I have an 8-month-old and an 18-year-old. So before you hear me, you're going to hear from him.
How y'all doing today? All right, can I get that one more time? How y'all doing today? It's a beautiful day, okay? Thank you. A little bit of energy in the room, okay? My name's KJ, right? I'm an upcoming artist and poet. I'm 18. I just turned in March. But my name is Genius, right? So we're going to do a little interactive joint I've been working on, try to kind of keep y'all alive. So when I flip the mic to y'all, I want y'all to say culture. We're going to try it once. Culture. There we go. A little bit more energy. Come on, this is the culture. We are the culture, so... There we go. All right. So my name is Genius, and this piece I wrote is called Culture. Beautiful. Written with no inspiration, just straight concentration, thinking of the black community and needed conversation that led me to being more patient than a patient, going to therapy, more Caucasian, because it's seen as being weak. Same way having no struggle makes me less me, like less black. Colorist, in fact, our Caucasian counterpart is where it all starts. Playing us like harp and playing with our hearts while taking our culture apart. Appropriate our art. Prison pipeline, a live scene as statistics on a chart. Our hairstyles bought. Sold. Produce went from neck and noose, Civil War, them screaming truce. We supposed to rule the world. Let me stop. Mouth getting too loose. But here's the proof. Palaces, gold stacks higher than the roof. Mansa Musa, young black and the richest ruler. Nightmare on Wall Street, no Freddy Krueger. Just black people with the most expensive of jewelers. 50 years ago, we didn't have this type of moolah. And if we did, we had to jump through hoops like hula. Lil Rock 9, so let me school ya. Police don't kill without cause. Got you. Don't let me fool you. We all want the Richard Mills and a frame Mueller, cause being broke looking like you gotta seem cooler. Culture. Being black is no investment. Culture. Being black is constant stressing. Culture. Hoping parents' expectations don't become your exceptions. No expression. Being black with depression isn't mental illness, just demons messing with your head. Baby, wait for your next blessing. Being black is slave mind. Same reason Auntie Tina can't find new signs. Let us to visit in her shrine. She was so kind. Family all say the same. Don't say her name in vain, but knowing the family all run the same pain, which led multiple members to never change the chain of new names in the same grave. Not slaves, but stuck in the same chains. Please go get help. What I tell my aunties, uncles, sisters, brothers about mental health, they'd rather I keep it to myself. I will. But that won't stop survival's guilt. Hey, that one stable, they foundation built. Planted with wrong soil, no wonder the flowers wilt. No reason to cry over milk spilt. Same excuse used when hit with gun hilt. Different pain felt. Filtered young black boys and girls disturbed. Exchange actions for words, and those words all verbs slurred, because that's what mainstream culture made heard. Empty promises. Around me playing video games with a fake controller. No batteries, but it's honest what they told you. Same effect when they claim it was the taser holster that accidentally put your little cousin on a poster. Bullet holes covered with Walgreen Band-Aids. Mental health hidden with hairdos and bald fades. Family problems overshadowed with sibling resentment and shade. Black on black killing ignored because gang violence isn't black hate. Don't listen too deep. Being black is looking different, but fronting like a sheep, because we still punish to this day for being unique. But we're still the same thing that colonizers seek. Listen, assassination and assimilation. They're killing our leaders so the followers fall into the pipeline of prison or probation. Taught since a boy to be money chasing, because music exposure and culture is what they praising. Grandmama and daddy show mama and pops, so hip-hop is how they raising. Put pain in the music. Whites found it amusing. Pay people for pain, now Caucasians abusing. They want to feel like us, because no struggle is bruising. To ego, ignorance, and arrogance, that's the trio. Couldn't pass brown paper bag tests like Migos, led Negroes, ancestors in an open grave, no tomb. See, it's an excuse to hide our open wounds. It's an excuse to project trauma on our kids too. It's an excuse to demean what I've been through. It's the excuse used to use crutches to toxic, to use, oh, hold on, run it back. One more time. It's an excuse used to let, oh man, I forgot it. Hold on, one more time. Bring me back. Bring me back. All right, there we go. Culture is an excuse. Culture is a crutch used to let our toxic habits and faults linger. is the excuse used to never take responsibility, then point the finger? Is the reason me and my sisters never talk about how we act? Is why y'all checked out when I talked about the problems that you have. Is a wall to protect us from what's true. I'm talking about it because it's never going to get addressed unless we talk about it, me and you. I hate that we can only talk when I'm behind instrumentals. I hate any time that I explain myself, it seems to offend you. How come when I'm open, your trauma and pride always defend you? I don't hate you. Just hate all of your traits. Don't apologize, it's already too late. Just showing the hate you give. That's how stereotypes of a thug are placed within our race. Let me run that back. I said, just showing the hate you give. That's how stereotypes of a thug are placed within our race. Same way 7 stars seem to be God's space. We can't reach it because the demons that we haven't faced. That's the culture. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all.
Woo. The mic is hot, the mic is hot. So, my young little mister will be graduating this year. He will be heading off to the Prairie View A&M University that produces productive people. And I'd like to have him open for me as much as possible to show that it's not just me and my generation up speaking, or it's just not mental health professionals up speaking, that the youth understand mental health, that they will speak if we will listen. They will teach if we will sit and learn. So today, I want to talk about rest. Jesus took rest, so can we. So will we. My hopes is before I leave this stage, you're already curating in your mind how you will start to take rest, how you will start to secure your peace, how you will start to cultivate your sleep from the moment you wake up. I am a licensed professional counselor supervisor. I am a certified anxiety treatment professional. I am a certified mindfully informed clinician, and I am a certified sleep coach. But more than any of that, I am a Black woman on a journey to secure her peace, rest, and sleep by any means necessary. So I know that if I just came with the message of, y'all, we need to rest, we need to secure our peace, we need to sleep, that you might not really understand and get it. So the church girl in me, because when the pastor was up talking about all them services, I could relate, especially with the little red church punch in the back. Y'all remember those little flour cookies you used to put on your finger and eat? All right, we with me. So that was my stamp to let you know I'm a for real church girl. I'm not just a church girl because I'm up here on the church podium speaking today. But that's how I was born, that's how I was raised through and through. And I'm grateful for it, for most of it. I'm going to say for most of it, because some of the church culture had to be broken in me in order for me to secure my peace, rest, and sleep. So I'm not going to take you too far to the Bible, but I'm going to take you far enough for you to understand that Jesus took his rest. Jesus had boundaries. He said, I'm gonna go up here, y'all stay down here. That's a boundary, right? The last time I checked, a boundary means you teach people how to treat you. But I'm gonna back it up a little bit, because before you could teach anybody how to treat you, you gotta learn how to treat yourself. Jesus knew his purpose. He knew from the very beginning what his purpose was, and if it did not align with his purpose, he did not do it. He said no is an anointed word, and he would use it. No period is a complete sentence. Did y'all know that? Because if you could take my yes period, you sure enough gonna take my no period. It does not need an explanation. Jesus didn't give one. I mean, at any time if I'm wrong, go ahead and raise your hand and say, sis, that's not it. Because then I'll take you to the Bible for real. Because rest is mentioned over 40 times, in over 40 scriptures, I should say. It's mentioned over 200 times in the Bible. You could Google that, because I did. Because, I'm not going to say I just read the whole Bible, because I have not. I'm a work in progress. So when I say the word rest, take a moment and ask yourself, what does rest mean to me? Like, how do you even define rest? Just take a moment. And when I say let's rest in this, I want you to take a deep breath in. Let's practice breathing. Everybody in? Through your nose, hold it a couple seconds, out through your mouth, nice and slow. So whenever I say let's rest in this, I want you to take that moment and take a breath, because research shows we don't even breathe deep enough on a regular basis. As a human being, the way we have chosen to breathe does not oxygenate our bodies and our brains well enough. So today you're going to get a little oxygen with this little word. So for me, when I think about the word rest, I do not equate it to sleep, and you should not. So if in your definition, sleep was part of your definition of rest, I'm going to need you to go and break it. We're breaking stuff today. Because sleep and rest are not the same. Can you rest by sleeping? Absolutely, but they are not equated. People say, oh, go get some rest. Go lay down and get some rest. Go to sleep. Let's start using the correct verbiage with our kids so that they know rest and sleep is not, it's the only time you rest is not when you sleep. Because how many of us grew up? No, the only time you rest is when you slept. Yeah. How many of us growing up even knew how to rest? How many of us know how to rest today? That part, it's okay. It's okay if you don't, because I hope by the end of this that you do. I was working with a client, and she's slightly younger than me, but she was like, LaShasta, I just don't know how to rest. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know how to relax. I just don't know. And part of our work was trying to get her to say no to all of these nonprofits and organizations and the church and the sorority. So it's not like she was out in the street, turning up. She was doing a good deed, which she was taught that that's what you do. You work, you do good deeds because you study to show yourself approved, that you work hard, that's what God loves. And so that's what she did. And so she worked hard, she purchased a home, et cetera, but still could not rest, could not relax. So my question was to her, in your childhood, when did you relax or rest? She said, huh? What's that? What you mean? Because my mama told me an idle mind is a devil workshop. I was told that. So if you were seen sitting, looking like you were not producing, you was hit with the scripture across the head, or sometimes physically hit across the head, pick your poison. And then, just one? Oh, okay, because I was about to say, she was like, psh. Now you got something to do. Get up and get to doing it. And that could range from anywhere to scrubbing floorboards to, look, sis, huh? She was like, man, she hit me with the, Right. That was literally what would take place. And so with my client, this is what she was explaining. I said, okay, so think about, if we think about our definition of rest, to cease work or movement in order to relax, refresh, or recover strength. Ooh, did y'all hear that? One more time for the people in the back. To cease work or movement in order to relax, refresh, and to recover your strength. I got you, because I got to make sure I don't miss a word, because every word in this definition is valuable. To cease work. So if it's work, that means to stop. Or movement, and this is why sleep can be considered rest, but not necessarily. Or movement in order to relax, refresh, recover your what? Strength. Your who? Strength. Your what? Strength. Exactly. So she was like, you know what? When I would go to grandma's house and we would watch the stories, that was rest. She was like, that's when I could relax. I didn't have to do anything. I just got to sit there with grandma and watch the stories. I said, okay, so your childhood taught you that you have to leave home. Now, would that preach or no? You have to leave home in order to rest. Who been there? I've been there. Who there right now? Yeah. Look, we showing it all today. We showing it all because guess what? And I'm pretty sure Jay-Z wasn't the first one to say it, but I'm going to give him credit. You cannot heal what you do not reveal. So if we don't take it off and let it show up today, how will you then heal it? So a lot of us do not know how to rest and relax in our own home. And my client was like, yeah, this not going to work because sis over here paying the mortgage by myself. I'm going to need to know how to relax in my own house because I'm not going to go to grandma's house. I'm not interested in the stories. I can't keep vacationing because that was the new thing. It was in childhood, it was going to grandma's house, but now fast forward in adulthood, it was vacationing. And so we walk through and we discuss, like, what does it mean? What has happened in our culture? Now, look, I get it. My mom was a single parent of 4 kids. She had to work. She had to work hard. A lot of times she had to work multiple jobs. So we can take a moment and rest in the fact of what our parents had to do. So let's just take a moment. In. Hold it and out. We don't live where our parents lived, though. How many of us have changed addresses? How many of us don't have to hustle like our parents did? Now, how many of us choose to hustle like our parents did? See, that's the difference. I need you to release that culture, that poverty mindset that we have to chase and chase and chase and chase. If you keep chasing, when do you get to decide you've arrived? Because that ain't on the notes, you know. That's in here. That's in here. That's in here. If you keep chasing, when do you get to decide that you've arrived? Because guess what? Arrival means rest. And if you keep chasing, you will not rest. I'm not saying don't have goals. I'm not saying don't have ambitions. I have all of them. That 8-month-old baby was a dream, a goal manifested by God. He was not a uh-oh. He wasn't. However, I knew that in order for me to be prepared and ready for his arrival, I had to rest. I had to sleep. And to this day, even with the baby, I'm getting 8+ hours of sleep a night. Because I prioritize my mental health. I prioritize my sleep. My big kid, no, don't hit my phone after a certain time. Like last night, who you text? He texts his dad. Because once 10 o'clock comes, if it's an emergency, you might have to call 911. I mean, think about it. If it's really urgent, who is the best person to call? Not me. Let me tell y'all something. When I first told my mama that, she was offended. How many of us know we choose offense? We choose offense. She was. She was like, Shasta, I can't believe you would say that to me. I said, Mom, I can't believe you would think you want to call my phone after 10 o'clock. So we both can be in disbelief. I could call her on the phone right now. She probably watching on YouTube, so she ain't lying. But fast forward, my mom now puts her phone on Do Not Disturb. She now prioritizes her sleep the best that she can in her own way because she understood. I said, look, I have learned what I've needed. There was a point in time in my life I didn't like me. I got on my own nerves that I was like, oh, goodness. I could not be the best wife. I could not be the best mother. I could not be the best business owner. I could not be the best me. I just did not like me. I was constantly irritated, fatigued, having unexplainable headaches. If I'm on your toes, just go and let them hold. Just go and keep them out. Don't roll them under the bench. Don't roll them under your seat. Yeah, say ouch and let's get it. Here's the thing. I was not sleeping well. I was not hydrating my body well. I was not breathing well. Those three things that God gave us. Nobody else. Water, breath, because you know he breathed into us so that we could keep breathing. Let's rest in that. So a lot of us were taught to value work. We were taught to value work. We were taught to value work. Resting is work. It's not for the weak. Especially in the Black culture. Those of us who raised our hand to say we know how to rest, that took work. That takes heavy lifting. So the rest is not for the weak, it's for the strong. Because you have to be intentional about what you do, about what you say. And saying should definitely be no. I'm just going to encourage everybody to say no more. If it's not in line with what you have for your life and your purpose, you have to say no. The moment you say yes to what's not aligned with your purpose that God has given you, you are now being disobedient to what he gave you. You are now saying, no, Lord, that gift you gave me over here can wait because they want me over here to tie some knots. I'm just saying, no school can ask me to bake cookies. No. 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 Can I bake cookies? Absolutely. I can even bake them from scratch. But is my time better served? It is. Let me work with your parents. Let me teach the students 5-finger breathing because that is my calling. That is my purpose. When someone say, well, can you come speak about this? No, but I can speak about this. I can tell you about peace, rest, and sleep because that is my purpose. That is my calling, especially in our culture. The things that we have done, the amazingness that we have created with trauma, being fatigued, being sleep deprived, being functionally dehydrated. Imagine, can you please imagine what we could do if we were hydrated, rested, and well slept? We'd be killing the game twice over because we already killing it. So I just really want you to take a moment and say, like, what can I do to rest? LaShasta, what's some examples of rest? LaShasta, what do you do to rest? One of my favorite things is to sit in silence. Yeah, it's for free. That's not why it's my favorite. But it's a place to start. I can't tell you how many times my people have come home and be like, Ma, you all right? My husband like, love, what you doing? I'm sitting in silence. I'm healing my hippocampus. That's how I talk in real life. It's not just stage talk. What you see right here is like how I walk around every day. Because I'm a nerd that grew up in the hood. So when you put them together, you get big words and slang, and, you know, it just all works out. I'm still paying for these words, too. You know, I'm hoping they forgive some of this student loan debt. I didn't make the market. I didn't make the market. So that's one of my favorite things. When you sit in silence, it allows your hippocampus, which is responsible for the learning of the day, your emotions of the day, to heal. It's flushing your brain. It's beautiful. We're going to try it just for a moment. And rest in it. So breathe. Do some deep breathing while you are sitting in silence. So, in Matthew 11:28 through 30, Jesus tells us, and this is like the easy version of the Bible. Like, it's really called easy something. I can't remember the whole thing. I'm not making it up. I'll show you how to take real rest. Watch how I do it. Watch how I do it. You know, Jesus then was on the boat. Where was Jesus? You lying. What was happening? Storm. It was chaotic. It was chaotic, and Jesus was sleeping because he knew, like me, if it's an emergency, call 911, let me sleep. No, he knew he needed to be well rested and slept, and for him to get up to do the work that he was called to do. And that storm was going to be a storm until it wasn't a storm, and that it would wait until he finished sleeping. Everybody else's sense of urgency is not your urgency. Because anybody that asks you to do something for them, guess what? It's important to them. It does not have to make you move. Jesus didn't move. I know the song say, when I move, you move, just like that. Jesus said no. I'm just saying. That's exactly what it said. Jesus modeled spiritual rest, physical rest, and mental rest. He took time. I'm going to say in the morning, but I can't say it was in the morning, but in Scripture, it would be like to start his day, whatever that meant, to go off and pray. Or you could say, or to meditate, because prayer and meditation are the same thing. The Bible even says to meditate. So that was him taking mental rest. He slept. That was him taking physical rest. And he did not move at everybody's emergency. Because you remember his sister and them was like, hey, Lazarus, right? What'd he say? I'm coming. I'll get there. It's important to you. It's urgent to you, but it's not my emergency. Even when he was in the car teaching, and his mom and his brother came. And they was like, hey, come here right quick. And I know it's Mother's Day. I'm a mom twice over. I love my mom. I love my mother-in-law. She's here supporting me today. However, at some point in time, even when mom and them call, you have to say no. If it does not align with your purpose and your plan right in the moment. Trust me, my mother-in-law and my mom, I'm sure been a few times I done made them mad. No, I take that back. They've chosen anger. Yeah. You see, even it's still in me. Because when I tell you culture is embedded to make us believe that we can orchestrate other people's emotions. So even with me, all of these years of therapy, I didn't say experience, right? I said therapy. All of the years of therapy I've had, I still will have to self-correct. And what that was a faulty thought trying to slide through that I had to say, will it on in. I don't fish, but what they do like that. And to reframe it. That is one of the ways that you take your rest. You reframe the thoughts that come up that are faulty. You reframe that which do not serve you. It doesn't serve you to hustle and bustle like mama and them when your bank account say it's not mama and them bank account. You look at the facts. Because here's the thing. You're going to have to go to the facts first to get the proof that you need in order to make this a lifestyle change. It's not going to just come because LaShasta up here saying it. You're going to have to check the facts. So when you like, oh, I got to do this overtime, go to your bank. No, my bank say all my bills is paid and I do not have to do this overtime. No, thank you to the overtime today, sir. I'm going to rest. So Jesus chose to prioritize his mental health, his physical health, and his spiritual health. He chose to do so by saying no. He chose to do so by going away and having time to himself, sit in silence. He chose to do so by making sure others understood that their emergency was not his emergency. It might have been important, but it was not urgent. He chose to continue to move in his life at the pace that he needed to move in order to be in his purpose. Now you might say, well, LaShasta, what if I don't know what my purpose is? When you start to prioritize your mental health, that's anything that you think, the way you behave, that's your mental health. When you start to prioritize that, when you start to heal from the trauma, because we all got trauma. Some have capital T's, some have lowercase t's. Some have bold T's. Some have italicized T's. Some have T's that's underlined with an exclamation mark. Nonetheless, we all have them. And you might be like, okay, well, LaShasta, what does trauma mean? Anything that disrupts your daily living in a positive way. So if you wake up in the morning raising hell, that's trauma. It came from somewhere. It may have been, okay, in the mornings, my mom, this is how she ran the house. She got up, her voice was loud. She said, do this, 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 and this. And she might have felt like that's what she had to do. My mom may have felt like that's what she had to do. She had 4 kids and she had to get up, get dressed, get ready, get out the door by a certain time. And sometimes she had to get out the door before we had to get out the door. So she had to instill enough fear in us to make sure we did what we were supposed to do, when we were supposed to do it, so we got out the door on time. But that's not my story. I don't have to get up like that. I have a kid that'll listen, and a kid that's working on listening. So reminding yourself that your story right now today is not your parents' story. It's not mom and them's story. I'm not saying mom and them's story is not valuable, because it taught us to be resilient. It taught us to be strong. It taught us a lot, but we have to learn to take what we need and to leave the rest. It is time in this season to leave the rest. We cannot afford to keep holding on to what does not serve us, because it's disrupting our peace, our rest, and our sleep. And it's creating another generation that has strongholds that don't need them. They don't need them. Like my son said, he didn't have the struggle that we have. It doesn't make him less black, it just makes him a different black. In my mind, I hope it makes him a healthier, more whole, more able to walk in his gift, because he does not have to carry the weight of my trauma, of his dad's trauma, of my parents' trauma, because it's carried on, it's passed on. Just like the beauty that black don't crack, it's passed on. That trauma, that unhealthiness that we must hustle and work and work and work and work and work is passed on, and it's time to stop. If I had what's my time, Pastor? Y'all know you got to keep me right. 5 minutes, okay. I'm reading this book, and in the book it talks about rest, of course. I mean, because this is what I love, so I read it for leisure. But one of the things it talked about is how part of our not resting even is rooted in religion. Way, 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 way back in the Protestant day. Because they did not want the common folk resting and relaxing with the rich folk. So what they taught is that when you work and you work hard, it's pleasing to God. Not to say that working is not pleasing to God, but working yourself to death, working yourself out of your purpose, working yourself into the next trauma is not pleasing to God. Rest is an act of worship. Rest is an act of worship. The Bible says it. It says, follow me, I will show you the way. Worship simply means that we honor and to show love. So if you truly, truly want to love God differently, if you truly, truly want to show up differently in this world, start resting. Start securing your peace by saying no. And start going to bed and getting some sleep, like some good quality sleep. Your sleep hygiene is valuable. It's what you do an hour or so before bed. We know about physical hygiene because, once again, culturally, what you're not going to do is stink. I'm just saying. That's what you're not going to do. Your breath going to be right, everything. You're just not. So when you think about physical hygiene, now I want you to start thinking about sleep hygiene. It's the same thing. How you care for your sleep. Turn them screens off right before you, an hour or so before bed. If you need something, listen to some soothing music. If your TV is on in your bedroom, turn it off. I mean, really, ideally, I would love not to have a TV in my room, but that's another story for another day. I mean, you shouldn't have a TV in your bedroom. You should not. You should not. Look, I ain't mean to start nothing. I ain't doing it. So, because the bedroom is just for two things, and sleep is one of them. And so making sure that scientifically speaking, and biblically, apparently. So saying no, all of the things that I've talked about today, will contribute to your sleep hygiene. Because most of us, when we're staying up at night, we're thinking about what we didn't do during the day, what we said or didn't say, the things we got to do tomorrow. That's part of why the Bible says be anxious for nothing, and that tomorrow has worries all of its own. The Bible's trying to get you to stay present in the moment, because in the moment, there's no worry, there's no stress, there's no anxiety. You're present. So trying to do all of those things will please God. Even if you don't execute them to the T, you will get closer and closer, and before you know it, just like Jesus took rest, you will too. Thank y'all for having me.